In this video, we are going to take a look at integers. We will discuss what an integer is, how an integer is represented in Python, and we will see how we can instantiate an integer object. An integer is used to represent a whole number. Whole numbers do not have a decimal point and can be positive or negative. Let's head over to PyScripter and take a look. Python automatically knows you are creating an integer when you assign a whole number to a variable. Let's check it out. We'll open a new Python script and remove the default code. We'll create a variable called population and we'll set this equal to 2500. We're then going to print the type of the population object, and we will also print the population variable itself. Run this code and we can see that it is an object of int type. We did not have to tell Python that this was an integer, it already knew. We also did not have to declare that this was a positive integer by putting a plus in front. Let's take a look at negative integers. We'll say temperature equals -25, and again we will print the type of the temperature variable and we will print the temperature variable to the screen. Run our code and we can see it is of class int again. It is an int object and that int object represents -25. We can explicitly declare an integer object by using the built-in int function. Let's set dolphin count. It's a nice sunny day, we're out on a boat counting dolphins. And we'll set that equal to int, and inside the parentheses we'll supply 16. It was a lucky day for watching dolphins. Copy these two lines of code and paste, and we'll put in type dolphin count and print dolphin count, and we'll run the code. And you can see we got an object of int and it printed out the 16 dolphins that we saw. We can also use the built-in int function to cast from one object type to another. Cast is another term for converting. So let's take a look. Let's create a number, but it will be a string. So string number, and we'll be looking at strings in the next section. Set that equal to 25. And we can see our string is enclosed in the double quotes. We'll then print the type of our string number object just to show it is a string. We'll then create a variable called species count and we'll set that to equal. We'll use the built-in int function and we're going to supply in our string number. Now this is a string, as you will see. We're then going to print the type of our species count and we will see that that has been cast or converted into an integer. Just going to clear the code here on the right and we will rerun. And we can see here that our string number was of type string and it is now of class integer. In this video, we were introduced to integers which represent whole numbers in Python. We saw how we could assign a positive or negative integer to a variable, and we also saw how we could cast from a string to an integer. Now, casting from a string to an integer only works if that string represents a whole number. Check below this video in the For You to Try section where you can attempt to convert a decimal number and a string that represents text, and note your findings in your workbook. We will see more on integers in the operators section of this course, where we will specifically focus on numerical operators for mathematical equations.